Hello there, and welcome to another video. This is a video on the dominant 7th chord, and specifically a resolution called 8-7, which can be found in the Unit 4 um, of the Royal Conservatory Level 9 Harmony book. What we are going to be doing is specifically looking at a couple of questions and how to answer them on page 49 as an example. What I'm going to do now is share my screen so you can see the information here. Now essentially, by making this a little bit bigger, V8-7 can be highlighted here. So we have the dominant or the dominant chord, and then 8-7 is the special resolution we will be speaking about today. As we know from the dominant 7th chord videos we've already created, the dominant 7th chord is created using 4 different notes. We have a root, a third, a fifth, and a 7th. And traditionally, the dominant 7th chord is written this way, that I'll highlight in pink, where we have V7. V for the dominant chord, 7 for the 7th added. Now when we have a resolution V8-7, you'll see here there's an 8 followed by a 7, and this means that the 7th is resolved after the dominant chord is written. So essentially, this 8 is written to explain that there is an interval of an octave somewhere in the example. In this particular case, it was notated in this bass to the tenor. Now you can see how it goes from 8 to 7, and in this case the 7 is resolved by moving down by step in the tenor, and then the 7th again resolves by step down again. So there's a nice movement where the resolution of the 7th chord at the 7th of the chord is delayed. It's a very nice combination that works well, especially at cadences. Something that's interesting, I'll just erase the circle now, and so you can see the numbers a little bit more clearly. Something that's also interesting too is in some examples, the melody changes, but then the 7th is resolved underneath. In other instances, there can be a chord change where the melody or other notes are longer. They resolve and stay longer, but then the dominant 7th extra note, which is the 7th of the dominant 7th chord, resolves by itself, so that it's the only note that changes. Everything else is resolved and holding. So you can hear how in that example there's one note changing in the tenor. That it just sounds really nice. So the interesting thing about an 8-7 is that there is still a full dominant chord, but then we go to a 7th with smooth voice leading in a particular, usually an inner voice. Either the alto or the tenor can accommodate this movement, but then the other notes either are sustained for a long time, or sometimes the melody might change a little bit. But there is not to be a resolution of all of the voices underneath. Usually the 7th is the only note that's displayed and then resolved into the next chord. Traditionally, it is the tonic chord that creates this resolution. Because the 7th wants to fall down to the 3rd of the tonic chord, that's what is so special and interesting about this resolution. And there are varying examples in which this type of resolution are created. And it's a nice kind of a fancy way to create an authentic cadence, especially at the end of a chorale or at the end of a piece for 4-part harmony, SATB. So I do hope that this short video on the V8-7 resolution was helpful, and have a great day and enjoy. Take care.